I was an undergraduate student at Notre Dame when I first started coming to the Worker, and I had read the writings of Dorothy Day and began to really engage with Catholic social teaching. Reading Dorothy Day's writings, even before I'd ever been here on the ground in a Catholic worker community, just immediately struck so sharply and deeply. I just was increasingly feeling like I needed to be living with and alongside and for others so explicitly in community.
I've been here since June 2016. I had been discerning religious life as a junior and senior in college. I had taken a class on Dorothy Day and the Catholic worker movement and had really come to be inspired by her witness as a Catholic and as a Christian in the United States. I think a real source of nourishment that I've received while here when it comes to and strengthening of those relational ties that I understand is the fabric of the garment of Christian life, which is our relationships.
There has been a Catholic worker in South Bend probably since the 1940s. People were coming to the door with empty milk jugs asking for water and needing to do laundry and needing to take showers. And so we started talking with other groups in town and asking if there were a need for a day center. And they said yes, especially Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we looked around and found the building that has become Our Lady of the Road, and it needed a lot of work, so we began renovating that, and it had been an old hardware store, and we repurposed it and put in a commercial kitchen and showers and laundry facilities, and that was in December of 2006. So we've been open since then, and many other things have taken root there, especially through the pandemic. We also built a chapel in recent years. It's about 4 years old now, where we have Mass every Wednesday evening and every first Friday of the month through the academic year.
Something I stress a lot to our volunteers coming here is that one of the most important things that happens is the forming of relationships and sitting down and both sharing a cup of coffee around the same table. When someone comes here and you're serving them a cup of coffee, it's not so much an act of charity, but this debt of justice and recognizing that I'm probably directly connected with the exact reason why you are here waiting outside the door when it's snowing and needing to accept a cup of coffee from me. It's so clear what people's needs might be when they come through the door and their different vulnerabilities and the fragility of where they are walking in life, and really stopping to think about my own vulnerabilities and the ways I might have different privileges to be able to hide all of the wounds or brokenness or needs that I'm carrying, and really reflecting on that. And thinking how it's not like anyone here has more problems or needs or brokenness. They just don't have a space to keep that part of their story hidden as I might. There's a quote by Dorothy Day of essentially saying we are all homeless. We're all on the same journey trying to find our home together.
Wisconsin. I come every week on Sunday morning. I think often vulnerability in our world is seen as something that we need to fix and control. And we have tons of systems in place to try to hide vulnerability and make people feel more autonomous. But I mean, this is connected to your question about spirituality. Really, part of the Christian message is that God became the most vulnerable, and so that is and modeled that for the world. And so, coming here, we see people that are maybe more outwardly vulnerable, but at the end of the day, really, so are we. And in that sense, you know, it's often the charity goes both ways, because their outward expression of vulnerability actually calls out my own and shows that it's not such a weakness or such a curse.
The body is fragile, but the soul is not. The soul exists forever, and it's the most important thing. So when I see someone that has like bruises on a body, of course I would love to take care of it, because it's like our temple, right? Because it's important to feel healthy and strong enough to build the spirit. But first of all, I care about the spirit, and that's why I just look those people in the eyes and I try to distinguish in what kind of pain they might be, how can I help them. This fragility is just a sign of being in a different stage in life, but it doesn't mean that God left them. Some of them might think that God left them, that they're alone, but they're not. And that's what I want to also show them, that they are always able to get help, that there are people like me or other guys in here that are ready to help them.
For me personally, it's the ability to help. I feel like this creates a sense of community. We all need each other and we all need help. And this is kind of my way of giving back help to the others. I feel like it comes from love. I think to your neighbor. We don't do it enough to kind of help others, and this comes from my necessity to help the others, and there's a lot of help that you can provide here.
As Dorothy Day invites us to, and especially through the words of Christ, that those that come with these various needs, that come as Christ to us, is like, how do we respond to that? And I think trying to adopt that vision of understanding, like, that we are all members of the body of Christ and the community of the saints, to see the dignity of each person made in the image and likeness of God, is like what is most operative in how we organize our lives, I think. So as an opportunity not only to meet those needs, but to meet the needs that, like, the deep need of fellowship and relationship that we all have, being that I think God is utterly relational, and we're called constantly into that, into those just relationships.
Measuring everything that's happening in the community through people and faces, and also the importance of actually being alongside and choosing to enter the precarity with folks, and choosing voluntary poverty by living in our houses, and the power of actually knowing the truth of the people who are actually living through these realities.
Dorothy Day loved to quote Dostoevsky, "The world will be saved by beauty," and I do see a lot of that. It's amazing, and I think it's a testament to human resilience that people can still experience joy and beauty in the midst of everything.